which I think was perfect.
Yes, was one of the best trailers of the year.
Yes, it was damn near perfect.
This year we had that Doctor Who trailer, we had the
Man of Steel trailer,
Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer, and Captain America. Captain America trailer was fantastic.
Yeah, well, we haven't really talked about the Amazing Spider-Man 2 trailer. It was sublime, especially the international cut as well.
It's class, yeah.
I can't wait to see that movie.
Do you know what part every time I watch it, it makes me laugh? Is, do you know the bit where he gets into bed and he's covered in like dirt and stuff because he's been Spider-Man, and Aunt May comes in and she's like, "What are you doing?" He goes, "I was cleaning the chimney." She's like,
"We don't have a chimney."
And he's like, "What?
Yeah.
What have I been cleaning?" But it's just as what?
And like the action scene as well, just where he climbs on top of a cop car that's being spun through the air, and he lands with it on his back, and he just goes, "Need a hand?"
Yeah, that's your money shot right there. That is, I don't know what they're going to do in that movie, but it's going to be hard to top that because that was class.
Easily. And the bit where like Electro's causing a bit of trouble in Times Square, and Spider-Man web swings in, lands on top of a police car, and goes, "Yo, Sparkles!"
Yeah. No, I personally think, and again, last year one of my highlights was Amazing Spider-Man. I just cannot wait to see it. I'm so stoked for this movie.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant.
My top 10 toys.
Top 10 toys, yes, damn right.
Top 10 toys of 2013. I'll do the first 5 just as a quick rundown. Number 10 was the Star Wars Wampa rug.
Yes.
Just because of its sheer oddness, which is currently adorning your office, of all places.
Yes.
Number 9 was the Iron Man 3 Artifacts Repulsor. Just because it was a cute little toy and kids can actually pretend that Tony Stark from a scene in the movie where Tony Stark actually has the little thing on his wrist. Number 8 was the Star Trek Command Collection James T. Kirk figure.
Okay.
Just because it was one of those figures that's kind of like, it's an Action Man size and it's got the actual proper, fabric clothing on it, but it doesn't have the baggy velvet clothing on it, like most action figures does. It fits him. It looks really good. At number 7, it's the Ghostbusters NECA Zool figure. Just because NECA are one of my favourite sculptors ever, and that Zool figure is just gorgeous.
Unfortunately, that Zool figure now is fetching up to like £100 on eBay, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, and you have 2 of them.
3, actually.
You have 3 of them?
Yeah, well, I've Gozer, and I've Vince Clortho, and I've Zool, and I have one open.
Sorry, did I say Zool?
Yeah.
I meant Gozer.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the dog.
No.
Oh,
the aim for the flat top lady?
Yeah. Sorry.
So I keep getting Zool and Gozer mixed up. I'm Zool, minion of Gozer. Number 6, talking of NECA, it's the Terminator NECA Kyle Reese figure. Face sculpt's a little off, but still, the body, the design of it is perfect. Like the coat, the paint apps on the coat, the sculpting on the coat, it's dirty, it's grimy, it's got all the creased and wrinkled material effect, and because obviously he scavenges his clothes in the first movie, and he just finds this coat and he sticks it on, and it's too tight for him, so you actually see his shoulder blades sticking out through the fabric at the back of the coat.
Right.
Just the indent of it, just absolutely perfect, gorgeous figure. His accessory too, his shotgun, which is actually tied to a rope, which is attached to the coat.
Class.
Unbelievable figure, just absolutely gorgeous. Number 5 is the Ace from Remembrance of the Daleks figure.
Wonderful figure, yeah.
Because it just looks so good. It's a perfect example of why Character Options should have kept doing the 5-inch figures instead of this nonsense with the 3.75-inch scale figures. I don't know why. The accessories for the Ace figure is gorgeous too. You get alternate arms, you can take her jacket off. The backpack's amazing because you can put some of her little accessories into the backpack.
When is the War Doctor figure coming?
February.
Okay.
The War Doctor Sonic Screwdriver is available now as well, but only from Forbidden Planet International, not the normal Forbidden Planet website.
Right, and is there any word on a Peter Capaldi Doctor? Do you think will we get that in the right scale?
I've seen the sculpt for it, yeah. I like the rough kind of face sculpt for it, and it does look remarkable.
6-inch figures?
Yeah,
okay.
well, 5-inch, but yeah. 5-inch. So it's on its way. Number 4 is the Star Wars Black Series Boba Fett and Han Solo set, because that was the Star Wars Celebration Europe and San Diego Comic-Con exclusive.
Beautiful
that you and I both picked up.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely gorgeous. Of course, you get a Boba Fett figure in Wave 2 of the Black Series, but you don't get that Han and Carbonite with it. It's a gorgeous set. It looks beautiful when it's up on display. I love the Black Series figures in general. We just got Wave 2 there before Christmas. So reviews of those are coming in the new year. But all in all, they're gorgeous. The Luke Skywalker in his X-Wing jumpsuit is just unbelievable. The accessories to it are gorgeous. The Darth Maul figure, the sculpt on it is just beautiful, especially with his robes and stuff, and the fact he can take his hood and all off and his outer layer of clothing off. The lightsabers too, remarkable, because like even Darth Maul's lightsaber splits in half, which is a must. The Sand Trooper figure, like the detail on it alone is priceless, because you could have a very generic Sand Trooper figure, or you could have the one that they gave us in the Black Series, where it actually has, the sand blasted damage. It looks like it's wandering the desert for quite some time. Not so much the R2-D2 figure.
That's a wee bit
I
weird.
thought it was the weakest because
not quite right about it.
it's not dirty enough.
Oh, aye.
It's careful now. It's too clean. I think it needs to be treated the way the Sand Trooper figure was. Just to have a bit of dirt actually weathered onto it. But yeah, the Black Series figure is absolutely gorgeous. Number 3 is the 10th Doctor's TARDIS playset, just because it is so damn gorgeous. It's the perfect example of how much characters' bar has been lowered over the last few years, because with this one it has the light, it has the sound effects, the column, the time rotor actually moves up and down on it, and it's based off an absolutely gorgeous set itself, the actual one used in the show. This for me is an example of both a toy and a collectible rolled into one. Kids can get a lot of fun out of it. Adults can have it up on it can literally be the centerpiece of the Doctor Who display, which it is for you, because you have one and you have all the figures all around it. It's the perfect example of that. Number 2, it's the Thor the Dark World Marvel Select figure.
Yeah, so what's your review of this just the other day? It's class. Looks like a beautiful figure.
Yeah, the face sculpt is remarkable.
It is class.
It looks so much like Chris Hemsworth. It's not even funny.
It's even got like a strand of hair across his forehead.
It's got 2 strands, across down the sides of his face. The beard sculpt's perfect. The eyes are haunting because they look so much like Chris Hemsworth eyes, And these are tiny eyes on a 6-inch, 7-inch figure. The detail on it's remarkable. Yeah, the posability factor, unreal. Obviously, his little hammer Mjolnir accessory looks gorgeous too.
I like that you can hang it on his hand.
Yes, which you couldn't do with the 2011 release. Did you see the comparison between the 2011 Thor and the two? They look like 2 completely different figures.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's night and day between them.
Yeah. No, it's just because actually the 2011 figure they released kind of looks like Noel Edmonds.
Yeah, it does.
You know what I mean? Like a Tiswas swap shop Noel Edmonds. Yeah, and there were 2 other Marvel Select figures I reviewed this year that really they were good, but they weren't so good. Which was the Mark 42 Iron Man figure, which did look very nice, and the alternate head sculpt did look like Robert Downey Jr., but there was a few problems with paint apps, and the War Machine figure was just dull as dishwater.
Okay,
but that was sort of it. Number 1. Say it with me.
That would be the Sonic Screwdriver remote control?
Yes, it would be. The 10th Doctor Sonic Screwdriver remote control from the Wand Company. I loved their 11th Doctor's Wand Company Sonic Screwdriver TV remote. It was my top toy last year. I loved it. I thought it was remarkable. I had a few issues with it. It didn't have a button on the handle. It didn't extend. You had to put batteries actually into it. And they kept wearing out very easily. And the instructions were a bit of an issue. All of those issues were fixed with this. It is a gorgeous thing. It's scanned from David Tennant's actual prop. It's the proper size. It's made from aluminium and plastic. It extends, and it controls your TV. It controls anything with an infrared remote control. You can program it to use. Like, I have a heater at the moment, which is actually infrared remote controlled. I've actually my Sonic Screwdriver set to turn the heating on whenever I point my screwdriver at it.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
That's pretty cool.
It controls iPod docks. It controls TVs. It controls Blu-ray players. It controls Freeview Plus boxes. It's an amazing bit of kit. On top of that as well, it has a TV Be Gone feature, where if you click it a certain amount of times and hold it up, it'll scan through different infrared settings before it finds the right one and turns the TV you're pointing it at off. It's some fun the other night. I was at Katie's bar doing a quote-unquote pub quiz, and there was a TV on the corner, and I was sitting turning it on and off until I got shouted at. But, it's an amazing bit of kit, and it retails at about 80 quid. And that's a steal for it.
Yeah.
Because you look at most prop replicas these days, there's hundreds and hundreds of pounds. This thing, for the budget that most people would have, about 80 quid, it's a drop in the water. And it's amazing. Mm-hmm. And what you get for that 80 quid is well worth easily a couple more zeros put at the end of it. So yeah, that's number 1. My 10th Doctor's Sonic Screwdriver Universal Remote.
Excellent.
Do you want the bottom 5?
Well, as in the worst toys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have them. Number 5 was the Ecto Goggles.
Okay.
The Matty Collector Ecto Goggles. Mainly just because they were such a letdown compared to some of other Matty Collector's work. I really hope the Proton Gun's better. I really hope it's better. Number 4... trying to think if I can remember it. I can't. That makes for great radio, doesn't it?
Excellent. Okay.
Yeah, it's... I've forgotten it all now. Basically, number 1 is every Doctor Who toy character released this year.
Okay, because the horrible new scale.
The new scale, the re-released Screwdrivers, the Dalek Masham, everything under the sun, really, the character released this year in particular. Apart from the Ace figure, but then again, that was done by Underground Toys.
Yeah.
So that technically that doesn't count. But yeah, everything Doctor Who related this year. Those playset diorama things made out of cardboard. The sort of things when you're growing up as a kid would be printed on the back of a cereal box.
Exactly.
And you could cut them out and set them up yourself for your figures. You know what I mean?
I do indeed. Okay.
Unreal.
So, right, before we go, on top of that, we had, obviously, there was a lot of deaths this year as well in the nerdy community, but 4 deaths of particular mention. Ray Harryhausen, we lost him this year. Of course, he was the genius behind things like Clash of the Titans and Jason the Argonaut, stuff like that. Ralph McQuarrie. We lost Ralph this year as well. He was, of course, the conceptual artist on Star Wars. Without his work, we would not have had Star Wars. Simple as that, because it was his work that got the money to make the movie. Simple. Paul Walker. Paul Walker's death this year. An actor who I was surprised at how affected I was when he died. It surprised me that it shocked me so much. Of course, from the Fast and Furious movies, but we find out earlier on that the next movie is going to go ahead. More as a tribute to him rather than despite him. So yes, that was a big one. And of course the most recent one, which was just yesterday, was actor James Avery.
Yes.
Uncle Phil from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Very sad indeed.
Very sad news. Very sad news, and got a tremendous response on our Facebook page and our Twitter from people who just were genuinely very upset at the news that he died.
It's quite sad as well, because he was originally slated to have a role in Transformers: Dark of the Moon.
Right.
Which I don't know if it was cut out or whatever happened, but he never made the cut.
Right, okay.
So that's a bit of a shame.
He was the voice of Skeletor. I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And once, yeah, but it's one of those things too when you realise, you're like, oh, of course he was.
Yeah.
Of course he was. And he did a lot of voice work as well, a lot of series.
I love when you texted me earlier. You said he was the voice of Skeleton.
Oh, that was damn autocorrect.
Autocorrect, yeah, instead of Skeletor.
But yeah, it was of course the voice of Skeletor. Right, look, you know what? We could keep this show going all night.
We could.
But
And I'd just like to say as well,
ones.
I really think James Avery in Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he was the last real proper epitome of a TV dad.
Yeah.
A proper 90s TV dad. He was a big guy. He earned a lot of respect. He was a judge as well. He lived in a big, proper, fancy mansion with his family. He had the older daughter and the slightly younger daughter, and obviously the middle one, Carlton, and then obviously the beautiful wife and the cousin or the nephew that came to stay. That was the real proper epitome of a classic TV dad.
Yeah.
And pretty much the last real proper TV dad I think we've got, because all the new ones now are all the PC and modern ones, and some are slobs and some are working class and whatever. But I really think just him as that big guy, that was the stereotypical proper TV dad, the backbone of the family.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair, because he was kind of a hard ass in it, but at the same time he was very fair.
Yeah, and he had his soft moments as well.
Yeah. We have a video here. I hope this translates well. This is Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Uncle Phil threatens Will and Carlton. Maybe take a listen to this.
You two have pulled some pranks in your day, but this one takes the cake.
He's about to blow, man. Make a break for the front door, I'll cover you.
So. Tell me, if you were me, what would you do?
I don't know, forget the whole thing, get us a couple jet skis?
Look, you big-eared freeloader, you take the little square-headed cousin here, and you find Jeffrey, and you bring him back, or they'll never find your bodies. And I'm a judge. I can make it happen.
Oh, so good. So good. Your little square-headed cousin.
Oh dear, they'll never find your bodies. I'm a judge. I can make it happen. Unbelievable.
So yeah, that was of course. Very sad. Very, very sad.
May he and everyone that we lost last year